What up YouTube, TK here, and today, well, I now own a photocopier. Good times. But it turns out it won't actually fit in my car, so I'm gonna have to walk this puppy home. It's gonna be worth it, I know it. In case you're wondering, the KFC didn't come with a photocopier. I just bought dinner on my way home, and you know, that's how it goes sometimes. What was the name of that Greek guy that was forever doomed to push a photocopier uphill? Okay, so I'm about halfway home. I've already pushed this thing about 1 kilometer uphill, and one of the problems I'm having is they've installed these grooves in the pavement. Now, these are actually really helpful. They're used to stop runaway photocopiers from rolling downhill. The problem I have is that they also stop you pushing it uphill. So you gotta lift it over every single one, I tell you what. Going downhill is much easier. Oh God, no. I had to build a little ramp to get it in the house. All right, here we go, initial power up. We're plugged in, and it's doing nothing. It's doing absolutely nothing at all. Not a thing. What am I doing wrong? Wait a minute. Oh my God. Pay dirt. Let's fire this puppy up. Oh my God. I can't see a thing. Music to my ears. Oh yes. Oh yes indeed. It works. Well, we have a front panel anyway. So I've had the photocopier for a few weeks now. There's a problem. It started jamming. I'm trying to photocopy stuff and it's just jam. So we're going to diagnose and fix this today because that's part of the joy of photocopier ownership. Oh, listen to that baby purr. Ish. We also have on this inside... Rude. We also have on this inside panel a full breadth of pictographic instructions on how to deal with various problems. Not the clearest, I have to say, that I have seen. I'm more of a fan of the Hewlett-Packards, but Ricoh have at least given us a fighting chance, so we're going to go ahead and dig in. So we've been instructed to dig in here, so we'll hit that, and then pull away at various panels without hopefully breaking anything. Bring that down. Ah, yep, so that page has come out there fairly easily, but I have actually seen paper get more jammed up than that even. Ah, here we go. Here's the money shot. Let's get in closer. This is an absolute disaster. Don't look, I think I might have photocopied something sensitive. Yep, we'll, don't need to see that. The paper's getting jammed at this last set of rollers here, so we'll try and fire it up again and do another shot and see if we can figure out exactly why it's jamming. We've unjammed the photocopier. We're now back at our main screen. Everything is happy. We're going to go ahead and photocopy a beer because we need more. Let's go ahead. Just chuck that on there. No, it's A4. We got to go for. Yep, bad. Sorry. All right. Hopefully this works. Cannot detect size. Well, it's 335mm, but whatever. No, it's jammed again. It's jammed, and at the same point. Go ahead and open her up.
Yeah, same thing.
Alright, see if you can peel it out. Oh, is it hot?
No.
It might be hot. What do we got?
Well, we have a Corona.
Not a bad photocopy, but it's still getting jammed really badly. So, I'm getting toner all over my fingers. Let's see what we can do about that. Our problem's in here somewhere. We seem to be getting caught up between these last two sets of rollers. We've run another copy through the system, and we're going to take a closer look at exactly what's happening. So it's at this last stage. Ah, it's actually almost come around the other side. It's gotten this close. We can actually, we can almost pull that out. And there's our Corona. God, this makes a mess. And I've gone and ripped it. You can see here, it's actually caught on these plastic pins. They've stopped it moving. Ow, that's hot. See these little teeth in here? Oh, that's hot. Ow. It burns, burns, burns like a photocopier. Like a photocopier. There's a hot roller in the photocopier that cooks the toner onto the page. We're just going in with pliers now to try and remove the last bits of paper that are stuck on it, and then we're going to put it all back together and hope it works, even though we haven't really fixed anything. So the thumb screws are actually so you can remove this carriage. This connector here may be a test connector, or it may not be connected to something when it's supposed to be, but I can't see anything for it to plug into. The one thing I love is how easy it is to take photocopiers apart, because they're always shit and they're always jamming. We're going to undo some big screws. Hope we don't fuck everything up. The great thing about videoing this is it'll be really easy to put everything back together. That has saved me so many times.
Oh, yeah.
Because I go back and review the footage and then I see exactly how it all goes back together. There we go. Cool. Place that somewhere safe, knowing that it may get ink everywhere. We'll give you a closer look inside. There's plenty of toner build up in here. Nothing obviously misaligned that would cause a jam. I can imagine it might be quite frustrating working on these sometimes as a professional in the field. So where we are right now is we have our hot roller here and we have paper still wedged underneath. I can't see any other option other than taking this top off. I don't want to, but I think we're going to have to. So we'll undo more screws despite my protestations. What I do like, however, is that all the screws so far we've undone are actually captive to the part, so you can undo the whole thing and never lose a screw. And I imagine that makes things much, much easier on all the photocopier technicians worldwide. Really smartly designed for easy service. Got the screws undone. Lift that off, there we go. We can see, oh, the paper's really jammed in there. How did it even get in there is something I don't know. I wonder if that's from our last print or if that's been in there for the last 10 prints and that's what the problem is. Hard to say. What we will do is we'll now reassemble this and hope it all prints properly. We'll also just give this a spin manually, see if there's anything else stuck on our hot roller. And it looks like there may be. Looks quite aged, there's plenty of toner stuck to it, but otherwise it looks okay. Nice and flat, no more paper, appears to be jammed in here. So we'll reassemble it and hope our photocopier works. All bolted back together, ready for reinstall. We see the connector on the back here that actually fits straight into the copier, and also this gear here which mates with the gears on the copier itself to rotate the drum. Pretty cool. That should just slide back into place and we'll screw it back together. Still don't know what this lever does, but we'll ignore that for now. I think the photocopier community will enjoy our DIY spirit, but they'll be like, you must learn the proper ways. I messaged my girlfriend and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to treat myself tonight. I'm not going to work too hard. I'm just going to spend some time with the photocopier. One problem this photocopier does have is this shaft is actually bent in there, which does mean the photocopier doesn't close perfectly normally, but I have seen it print successfully before and I am looking forward to seeing it again. The connector's back on. We can slide this back into place-ish and do up the thumb screws. Wait, oh no, it's jammed again. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Alright, we got further this time. It's almost completely out. It just got a little bit torn. That's an excellent photo. This is brilliant advertising. Let's go ahead and take this apart again. Hopefully we don't have to unscrew anything. It's catching in that very same location. See if you can pull it out without having to disassemble the entire photocopier again. Got it. The problem is the paper's repeatedly catching on these teeth, but we don't know why, and that's the frustrating thing. So other than jiggling them up and down heaps and trying to free them up if they are jammed in some way, I don't actually know what else to do. There is a chip on one of the teeth on this flap here. I don't know if that's causing the problem though. That seems unlikely. It's on the wrong surface. So we'll keep moving forward. We'll just jiggle things around and generally try and loosen it up and see if that helps. I'm sort of looking at this, trying to analyze it, like what it's stuck on. And maybe the teeth are the symptom. It's definitely caught on the teeth. I just do not understand. If you're watching this and you know how to fix this problem on a Ricoh Aficio 2027, get in touch in the comments, because this is making a boy very sad. After some careful Googling, I've managed to find the service manual, which outlines these service program modes where you can change things. We're going to change the value stored in this thing that controls the feed clutch, and hopefully that'll make our photocopier feed properly and stop jamming. I'm not too confident though, because from what I've read, generally to fix feed problems in photocopies you have to replace a whole lot of parts, which obviously I'm not going to do. We've got to find the secret incantation for entering service mode. Wow, and that is bloody complicated. Okay, so we're in service mode, so let's see if we can figure out how to edit the numbers we're looking for. Here we go. Because we're looking for SP1903, but it's not here. Okay, so here we go. We're actually in special service mode. We had to hold down the hash key while we clicked on copy SP. So we scroll down, see if we can find the adjustment we're looking for. 1903. Excellent. 6. Let's try jacking that up to... how do we change that? 8. Enter. There we go. So that's 8. We'll change this one to 2. I have a feeling this isn't actually relevant to what we're trying to fix, but we're going to try it anyway. Alright, so we'll just check those. 2, 8, 2. Excellent. We'll exit that. See if we can do some photocopying. Awesome. So our measure of success will be 5 or more complete copies without jamming, and I don't think we're going to get them. Yeah, that's not good. See, it's already... See this in the paper? I don't know exactly what's causing that, but that shows me it's not feeding effectively. It's getting caught up and folding for some reason. So we still haven't fixed the problem. That's very frustrating. We'll try 5 copies, but see how we go. Nah, absolutely not. Oh, it's so disappointing. So, I really don't know what the problem is. I have a feeling at this point that there's just some kind of problem with, you know, some gears in here or feed rollers or something have just worn out, and that's why we can't have our photocopier working. The annoying thing is, when I first recovered this photocopier, I made a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies, no problems, but now it's just jamming every time. It's an absolute disgrace. So if I want to fix this properly, I'm going to have to do a shitload of research, trying to figure out, you know, exactly, is it my registration roller, is it my drum feed, or whatever they're all called, that's failing. I just don't know the names, and that alone makes it difficult to troubleshoot. Look at that, it's just, what is making that happen? 2 in a row just then came out, and then the third one jams, but even the ones that come out still have this jagged pattern that shows something's not quite right. I'm at a bit of a loss here, really. It's capable of getting 1 or 2 decent copies out before it completely fails. It's almost like it's a heat-related issue or something. It doesn't like doing repetitive copies. Okay, I did a bit of a hack. I increased that clutch value to 10 millimeters instead of 8, or the original that it was set to, which was 6. And I just got 5 copies out in quick succession, but they each one gets worse in terms of this rippling. I don't understand what's causing it. So let's try that again. Maybe it's everything getting hotter. Maybe it's the toner, shot after shot, causing the paper to stick to the drum, and that's what's causing a misfeed in this rippling. So maybe if I turn down the toner temperature, that will help. We'll give that a go. In fact, toner causing the paper to stick to the drum would explain why the paper's getting caught up under these hooks, because I believe these hooks are actually supposed to help separate the paper from the drum that bakes the toner into it. If the paper's sticking too hard to the drum, it will wrap up and get caught underneath. So I think we should turn down the temperature of the drum. And that also aligns with our observation that we can get a couple copies out if we let the copier sit for a while. But if we try and do lots in a row, it all fails. So let's see if we can hack into the copier and turn the temperature down. There are all these adjustments for the fusing temperature roller that basically bakes the toner into the paper. We could probably change a few of these and see if that fixes our problem. It's going to be hard to know which one to change, but we'll give it a go. I could be wrong about it being related to the fuser roller though, because look at these weird tracks we're getting on the image from something scraping against the paper. That's probably a big part of it. Look at this, our fusing temperature is over 170 degrees. That's a bit hot. I think that could be part of our problem. Yeah, roller ends are also looking pretty hot. And obviously at power on it was obviously nowhere near that hot. I think we have a thermally related problem, and I wish I had a thermal camera with me, but that means we will adjust. Yeah, see, that's set to 165. So it shouldn't be so hot. Let's change that to 165. And that way they're all 165, and that way it shouldn't get so bloody hot. Go down. Alright, we've dialed things down now to a much more reasonable temperature of 150-ish degrees. So now let's try making some copies. We just made 10 copies, no problem, but you could see them getting worse as we went along. So here's the first copy and here's the 10th. So on the left here we have the first copy, and on the right here we have the 10th. And straight away you can see there's a lot more smearing of toner, and that toner there feels really rough. That's not even supposed to be there, whereas on the first copy it's a lot smoother. The paper also came out of the machine a lot more buckled. It's difficult to see now, but after the 10th copy, the paper was coming out all wavy, like it was having some kind of issue feeding, whereas this came out much more smoothly. The quality of print is pretty much the same between the two. I'd say maybe a little bit better on the left. You can see there's a stripe here that there really shouldn't be. I think there is still some kind of feed problem, but the fact is we got 10 copies out, no problem. So let's just see if we can repeat that. Still got temperatures in the 150s, so that's good. We'll go ahead and exit and do our 10 copies. Alright, we just made 10 copies with no problems for the second time in a row. Let's check our temperature of our rollers. And, oh, they're actually cooling down. They're in the 140s. That's interesting. But regardless, turning down that temperature does seem to have helped. It could be a coincidence. It could be something else. So we turned down our temperatures to the 140s. And after making 10 copies for the second time, that's exactly where they're sitting. So that's great. What I now want to do is go the other way. We'll turn our temperatures way up and see if that makes it jam more. So we'll go ahead. This is an important thing we do a lot in manufacturing engineering. We make a change and then we undo it and see if the problem comes back. And if it does, we know we're onto something. So we'll turn all these up by some arbitrary amount above standard. We'll leave the thick paper setting as it is, but all these others will go up. And we'll exit. And then we'll actually go back in. Alright, so our temperature is now in the 190s, or high 180s. That's excellent, that's exactly what we want. We want to turn it up, and now we want to see if we can make 10 copies, no problem. And I bet you we can't. Okay, so with the temperature turned way up, oh no, we've run out of paper in tray 1. And in tray 3, that's embarrassing. So we've reloaded the paper, see if we finish this print run, then we'll do another one. Wow, okay. Okay, so let's do another 10. Because that wasn't a fair test. Because the paper ran out. So this is with the temperature turned up. Photocopier is running really smoothly. We'll check our temperatures. Roller temperature very hot. Roller temperature very hot. Both over the 190 degrees. So, okay. So that's interesting, and I'm glad we did that because that means our conclusion we initially made is false. We tried cooling down the roller temperatures, and we were able to make many photocopies in a row. To see if that was the root cause of the problem, we then increased the roller temperature and we were still able to make lots of copies in a row. In addition, if we compare, the photocopy at cold temperature is worse than the photocopy at hot temperature. There's this smearing and this horrible graininess that actually feels quite rough on the paper on the cold one. The hot one doesn't have that problem. That's really interesting, but what this also means is we haven't actually solved the root cause of the jamming. We still don't know why it is. It could just be that we need the photocopier as a whole to warm up for a few minutes before starting to copy. Otherwise it doesn't work. But yeah, overall, I don't really know. So overall, it turns out I have a photocopier that jams sometimes. As far as I can tell, it's not actually temperature related as I thought it might be. In fact, I have almost no idea why it jams sometimes. Hopefully this video has given the photocopier experts in the audience enough of an idea why it's jamming, because I really am at a complete loss. But, you know, at least my photocopier kind of works sometimes, and I'm going to do more fun stuff with it. All in all, thanks for watching, and until next time, TK out.